Actually, I have been coloring, um, testing out, recording from my old phone. Me working on a mandala to post on Monday, and so now I want to work on something else. Look at some of my other whips, show a couple of things that I've gotten, um, that I got through. Well, I got on Prime days, but I think only one thing was a Prime deal, um, and maybe some other things too. Because well, there's actually one thing that I haven't shown you guys that like I got that, but like it's not that much to show, and I haven't used it yet. Really, I haven't even really taken it out the box, so I can tell you what it is. It's one of those handheld dryer things, and I'm not ready for that yet. When I start using the stuff that I need that for, is when I'll break out with that and show it. Um, so I figured I'd like just start with this page open just because it's pretty, and I don't think I did some of the stuff I was doing while I was live that I can remember. Um, and this is from Enchanted Forest, Johanna Basford. This is that page that like this is a pre-owned book. There were very few things in here that were colored, but this page they had colored one thing, which I think it was this the inside of the lantern, and that was all. Um, and what I did with this was I actually added acrylic paints, which I still have them by my desk. I need to put them away. Um, the mandolama paints, and this is the glitter purple. I added that. And I did some colored pencil down here, which I really like. I did like a blend of purple and this kind of beigey kind of color, and a kind of yellow, a pale yellow. And I actually just did it lightly, which is like, this. My tendency is not to go light, but I'm getting better with that now, with like using all the possibilities of the pencil instead of just. Anyway, yeah, and I really like how this turned out. And it was like once I did this little spot, it kind of opened up for me. It's like, okay, yeah, now I know what I'm doing, or I felt led, like I felt inspired with other things to do with the page. Um, so I'm making progress on this whip. I don't know if I'm going to work in this now or not. I want to show some of the other ones I did, but I think I added this too. After I added this kind of like was like between this and this. I don't know which one I did first, but it kind of gave me the, kind of inspiration for what I wanted to see in that spot. So, um, and I went around this one with that warm, I think I used the warm gray, which I started doing around here. And I actually like that, just like that, without adding any color to it. To the the bit warm gray. I like it just that warm gray, and then I'll color the the trunk and the. Oh, I just noticed there's a caterpillar there, so I still have to work on that. I just have to remember what pencils I used for this, and I think I used colors, which I actually happen to have out right now, so maybe I will work on this one today. I did more of that acrylic paint just on this flower. I thought that would kind of balance out what's over here. Um, and so I had to do the little pebbles, which I think I'm going to use gel pens on those. So who knows? Maybe I'll make these pebbles match the things on the mushroom. I don't know. So, and then I also want to think about how much of this warm gray outline, shadow, whatever the heck that is I want to put on the rest of this. I don't know yet. So I'm progressing on this one, and I feel like I need to make this bigger. Sorry. I I've been doing some experiments with different recording with different things to see. I don't know. And like I said, I used my old Galaxy Note 10 to record since it still connects to the internet. I'm actually thinking about trying to do a live using that, so then I won't have those weird blips that I have using my computer, and then maybe I won't have to worry about storage so much. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not ready to go right now to go the whole route of like unplugging my phone and see if the recording worked and all that jazz, because I've been dealing with a whole lot of technical stuff the past few days with my actually with my printer. Yeah, and then I was on this morning. I was talking to support in regards to my printer. I was printing like a really big document, and I was printing it just like every 40 or so pages I was printing, but then yeah, then something happened. But anyway, you don't want to hear that story. Um, anyway, so that's the progress on that one. Um, I don't think this is the page that was previously colored in here, which they really did a nice job. And so now, especially with some of the things I know presently learning and that I've been learning the past, like even past month or two, with using the acrylic paints and all the Derwent pencils, the Faber-Castell Black Edition, etc., etc. Um, I even have like those distressed, the Tim Holtz things. I have one of those distress things. It's like actually I have two. I have like their watercolor crayons, which I haven't used yet, and then I have one of those things of distress things, because like they have two different kinds, and I have the one kind that actually was not the one I intended to get, but it turns out it's good I got that one, because they said that one has kind of, I don't know, the properties of it are sound like it's better for what I do. But anyway, so I'm going to have fun working with the colors they already have here and kind of just making them pop more, because I thought they really did a nice job on this. So, but anyway, so that's one whip in Enchanted Forest. I really can't wait to do this page. I love this page so much. Anything that has mushrooms, I don't know why, I'm in love with it. So, um, but I can't do that page now because I'm only working on whips. Um, I have some other things in here that I can do as well. Today, the squirrel. And I said I wasn't going to include this in here, but I use color pencils, I think. Or no, I use Starjoy Golds in here. But yeah, so I probably won't work on it, but I'm kind of feeling this page today. I don't know why, particularly this side. But I told myself I was going to save that for another day, but I don't know. This is kind of a page I feel like I can just get lost in and not really think too much about, because I already kind of have a plan for it. I already kind of have a plan kind of set out already, really. Um, I want one page to be dark and one page to be light. So the only other thing I need to do on this side is I want to darken some of the colors that are already here, particularly the sky, which would be easy to do, but mindless kind of work that I can sink my brain into and just kind of, keep going around and around with pencil, which will help me relax. But I don't know. We'll see. So that's what's in here. Ignore these 2 pages. Ignore them. These were 2 pages that the other person had started coloring, and I just started following their where they left off, kind of, sorta. I added some of the metallic to it, but I don't really like either page, to be honest. I don't even know if I would like them. I mean, I'm glad they colored these because I don't like them. I don't like either one, to be honest. I wish I could get her better. I don't know if I can get more of this or not. Because I've been moving cameras around on my desk, so it's like everything is kind of not as. Anyway, so I think that's it for this book. Then what's underneath here? Oh, I still have the teepee page in this one, Worlds of Wonder, which I was thinking about working on because I just need to do like that background and TP. That's the main thing I want to focus on, so I might work on that. I have this page to do in the creative pages, landscapes and city sites that I got from Ollie's. Well, you can see that. And then this page in here, this one. I feel like I'd have to think too much to work on this page, so I'm probably not going to do that one today. But that's one. That's a whip that I have. A newer whip. I don't think I'm going to work on that one though. I'm actually going to put that there. I do have this one too. And I don't know if I included this in the whips that I wanted to complete or not. Because I feel like this is a page this is a book I just want to have fun in. I don't want to, I don't know, I want to explore. And my main focus in this one was I wanted to masculinize his face. Because that's how his face is in most of the pages. And I just wanted to kind of, I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to make him look more like Dracula. Make him look more, I don't know, Romanian or something. I don't know. So, yeah, but I don't know if I feel like doing that either. In part because I know I have to change this because this is actually feathery, not this kind of, I thought it was fur when I looked at it really quick. I wasn't thinking, and then I realized, oh, that's feathers, not fur. We need a new plan because I don't want purple feathers. Hey, Sherry. Um, I'm not so good with water-based markers. I'm trying to. That's on my list of things to try and learn. I don't really use alcohol-based markers either. Um, I have used them in some pages. I'm not really. I don't feel like I'm really good at it, and so it's on my list of tools I need to learn how to work with. So, I mean, it just took me a really long time to understand. I mean, just like a few months ago to understand the whole concept of good paper, believe it or not. So that kind of changes how I feel even more about using markers and alcohol and water-based markers. But one place where I did use them, and probably where I will go back to them, that I started to get the feel of it, and I think it's particularly alcohol-based markers, were the Kirby Rosanna's books, where suddenly that kind of opened the door for me or did I use water-based markers? I don't know. Whatever it was, I used markers that I don't normally deal with markers at all. And I used them in Kirby, and it helped solve a huge problem for me that I just based some of those those little unidentified Kirby objects, I call them. And I just colored, like, made colored masses of it. I grouped it. I blocked out the colors with a marker, and then I went in and did the detail of the little objects. And that worked really well for me, and that I felt very free with working in there, and I didn't feel any more anxiety about dealing with those little diddly things anymore. And I really like the effect. And I thought I would be back working in Kirby sooner than now. And I'm not there yet now. I'm in these other things. So, but yeah, I've kind of been wanting to get back to Kirby, but it just hasn't, happened yet. So yeah, I'm afraid of alcohol markers too. And I'm afraid of water-based ones. I'm not good with markers. I have to learn how to work with them. Because I kind of, even in this book, I feel like I want to use markers, but the paper I don't think is going to stand up to it. And so if I do that, which might be something I would do, I might actually make a copy of the page on cardstock and work on it from there, just so I'll have the freedom to use alcohol or water-based markers. Because I feel like there's something in here in the way these images are that might really work for me. And if I do markers, it's always in combination with pencil. So I will use pencil over it or whatever. But I just feel like these images lend themselves to that kind of work. I don't know, or at least they're feeling that way for me. So this almost feels like a separate thing of dealing with whips. This feels like a separate project in itself with this, because I have a lot of ideas of how to work in this book. And this is dealing with types of illustrations that I haven't in the past. And so, yeah, when I look at this page, I'm thinking bling out, bling out, bling out. And so in that case, I'm thinking I could even do watercolors, which is another thing that I don't know how to do, but I have some here that I bought with the plan that I'm going to learn how to use them. But I can't do watercolors or me myself. I don't know if it's possible or not, but I don't think I can do. Oh, this is only on one page. Oh, that's only one-sided. Oh, that's good. Wait a minute, they are one-sided. Oh, that's kind of good. Why did it seem like the other page was double-sided? No, they're one-sided. Oh, that's even good. So there's an option there too. But anyway, yeah. So this feels like a separate project I'm making in my head. I'm developing plans for how I'm going to deal with it, how I'm going to tackle it, what I want to use in it. I already feel some of these pages. Oh yeah, I'll bling out this part and do this and do that. So it just, I don't know. Yeah, I think that can happen just using just pencil. And I'm finding myself, starting to get kind of multimedia with these things after seeing other people do, use many different things in there. I'm starting to catch that. But the main thing is trying to figure out, well, how do I use it? And I think that one page, the first page I showed was Enchanted Forest, is an example of how I kind of started, I'm getting comfortable with going there. Um, because this is a combination. This is like acrylic paint up here. This is acrylic paint here, and then I also put some in over there. But all of this is pencil. And I probably could have used some marker in here, but I just didn't, because at the time I just was into, using the pencils. I didn't use any marker, but I could have. And I think that other page, where is it? I actually used crayon, and I thought it was in this book. I had so much fun working on that page, trying out the crayon. I thought it was in this book, another mushroom page. It's not in this one. Where is that mushroom page? I love that page. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Where are the mushrooms? I didn't think it was in this one. Maybe it is. No, it's not in this one. It's in an old. Oh no, it is in this one. Okay, here we go. This page. I used crayons, and pencil. Crayons with Gamsol, and I was like so thrilled with how bright the colors came out, and then I also used pencil. So, and I stopped on this page because I was thinking, well, I want something in the background, but I'm not, good with any of that kind of stuff. Really, I started like kind of etching something, but then I was like, I need to put this down because I'm not ready to go there. I'm scared. But I did do the little trees in the background that look kind of boxy, but um, and these I did with, they have crayon and pencil in it. But I kind of feel like I could add marker to this, marker or acrylic paint to kind of make them pop. Yeah, it was really fun working with the crayon. These they are mostly crayon, all of these, and then I use pencil to kind of like bring out some things. But it was interesting. So yeah, not ready to do this page yet, and I haven't done the other side. As much as I love mushrooms, I haven't touched the other side either. It's like, nope, let's finish this one first. I got a thing for coloring mushrooms. I just something about them. Oh, um, yeah. I had made a point of the thing that I want to learn. That's kind of where I am right now. That I want to learn how to use acrylic pens and acrylic paint. So I'm in my acrylic mode right now. And then after that, I know I'm gonna want to do watercolors. So that's they're kind of waiting in the wings until I get that. You know, probably until I finish these whips. When I finish these whips, then I'm gonna go and like, okay, unless when I'm working in one of these whips, I feel like they need watercolor. I'm gonna finish these whips first, and with whatever I'm familiar with now, and then go to do something that I can use the watercolors for. Because one reason I'm doing the um, Mandala Monday 2024 challenge is because I want to get used to using my acrylic paints and my acrylic pens. I'm really trying to get used to them, and I feel like the pictures actually look that way, and I don't mind. It's like I'm not ashamed. I don't care. Um, because even as I was working in it today, it's like my hands shaking. It's like, oh brother, I have to be so careful with how I was drawing the lines. So I'm trying to get my technique down. Um, and here I had the challenge because the reason why this kind of got so whacked out, particularly the butterfly, is because like after I used acrylic markers and it just made it look a way I hadn't intended. And then when I had colored this one with just colored pencils, I loved it. But now I had to make this butterfly match this one. And so that's what I started working on today. Even though I liked how the butterfly looked the way it was before I added acrylic, I needed to make it match this one. And the process of this one getting to look like this was like several mistakes with acrylic marker trying to make it work, because I'm trying to figure out like how does this work, how do I apply it, how do I need to have my hand and this and that and blah and blah and blah. So yeah, so I was working on this today, and I did all of these with the acrylic marker. Acrylic pens, paint pens. I use these, which are they're faulty because I pulled out, so I kind of just want to use these up. So I don't know if it's just this batch or if this is how they are, but it seems like while the metallic ones are really nice when they come out metallic, it seems like after a while they don't come out metallic, and I'm not sure why that is. And they're not the kind that have the ball in them. There's no ball. It's just supposed to. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if I still need to like alternate like holding them up, turning them down when I store them, or what. So I don't know what's up. Um, because I pulled out these two acrylic pens. This one is supposed to be metallic, and this one is supposed to be regular green. That's what I colored these green dots with, and there's no metallic. I actually had to add the metallic gold, which still does look metallic. I'm sorry. Pay attention to where I don't know if that shows it or not. Why is it getting brighter? Oh, because I'm pressing the wrong button. Sorry. So that green doesn't look metallic at all, but it's supposed to be metallic green. And when it was going down, it's like it just looks like regular green. I could have just used the regular green. So I'm trying to use these up because I have issues with them. These are the same ones that I had that problem with the Lost Ocean page where all of a sudden the metallic left the building out of the pen, and then I had to try and make it work. So um ooh, what is that moving? Okay. um so yeah so yeah, so I'm trying to use the markers in this book because I want to get better at using them. But like, I did this page. This is the one I did the recording of today. Well, I did a recording of both of them to do for Monday, and um, I wound up just going in with pencil on some spots because this has acrylic marker underneath it, and I went over it today with a pencil and outlined it. Um, I just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still learning how to work them things. So, but I feel like mandalas are a good way to kind of test those out, especially if they're big images. Then it's like I'm on training wheels, so I can kind of you know play with it. And I have those now that I have those Cougar acrylic markers, which are more. They have a finer point. They're like 0.03 um, or 0.3 millimeter. I like working with those a lot. So that might be a game changer for me with using the markers. And I have two other sets of acrylic paint pens that I can use. Some that are one set that's similar to these, um, the Zubox or something like that. And then I have the other ones, the Artex. So, which may work better than these and keep the metallic in the metallic ones better than these. So that's just an FYI. I'm kind of glad I bought 3 different types. Well, now 4, so I could see how each one works. But and I wonder if having the ball in it to shake it up, if that makes a difference because the Cougar acrylic markers do have that ball in them, and I love their consistency. I love how it comes out and stuff. So I don't know, maybe that makes a difference. But yeah, so that's gonna be coming out. I'm gonna post that recording hopefully on Monday if they came out properly. Otherwise I'll just do like a short or something, I guess. Um yeah, I'm scared of watercolor. And that goes way back to when um both my best friend and I were supposed to go to FIT in New York City. And actually, I was the one who started with the idea that I was, wanted to go to FIT because I used to do fashion illustration before I even knew that was what it was. I draw women with clothes on, all different kinds of clothes, and I used to sew. Used to sew all my clothes, and so did she. Like we both were like, when we got out of high school, that's what we did. We went to the club, and danced our hearts out. And we sewed and sewed and sewed and, designed clothes and stuff. She was the only person I ever let borrow my clothes because she was special. But yeah, she wound up going because I told her, I says, well, let's go together. We should go together. And she's like, yeah, yeah, okay. And so she was able to get everything together to be able to go, and I wasn't, which was cool. I played in bands instead. I wanted to go to school, but it just didn't work out. Didn't have the money. But so she went, and when she would come back on break, she would show me some of the things that she had learned. And one of the things that she showed me was illustration. She showed me like the press board that they had to work on and all that kind of stuff. And we got all that stuff, and then she started showing me how to do the watercolor. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I can't control that. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God. So it freaked me out. So my thing with watercolor goes way back to that, where it kind of terrifies me a little bit, um but I'm gonna get over it. I'll get over it. um and that's on my list for the next thing after I get a little bit more of the acquainted with how to deal with the acrylic thing. And for me to break out these two was a big deal, these little paints. But I saw Bubbles Studio, and she had that one Mandolama shimmer, and I saw that, and I was like, I have to have that. And so I did get that, and then I wound up getting like the set of two sets of the little size like this because I thought, okay, this is good because I can't make too much of a mess with this. If I spill it, I drop it or whatever because I'm such a klutz. This is like just the right size for me. So, so yeah, so I just this month or end of last month broke out with these paints and started using them. So, um, whoops, got kicked out. Oh, well, thanks. If you can, that's cool. Hopefully, I mean, I'm gonna keep this up so like you can always catch the replay if you're not able to stay connected. I know how that can be. I heard that, I guess, and I haven't even watched it because I don't want to be traumatized by it, but um, east of us, I guess, had a legit tornado this week. And it was a day, I guess, that we had a thunderstorm here, but we didn't have any tornado watches, thank goodness. Like we're not supposed to. But I guess east of us, far enough east where like we don't really have the same news and stuff all the time, but they had a tornado. And I was like, oh my God, not that again. I'm telling you, last Tuesday was traumatic. I'm still trying to forget it. I forgot I still have this to do. I'm thinking about using acrylic paints on this page too. I need to get that control with how I work. Yeah, the weather has been very unstable across the country. I think across the world. I think the UK is having another heat wave, and they don't really have things air conditioned and things like we do over here. So, but yeah, so um, oh, the TP page. Oh, I forgot about this bird page. I think I've had enough of birds from aviary. I'm not totally including this in my whip completion, but I might if I get bored or something and feel like working on that. Um, but yeah, so now that I have an idea of papers, now I can like kind of break out with these other things and not be traumatized by using stuff on the wrong kind of paper. So I'm working on that. I don't know, I may have worked on this live where I did this in like 2021 and just didn't have a background or anything. And so I was working on that, kind of experimenting to see how this works. So, like, a lot of this is experimenting with seeing what happens, and then that tells me what to do or what not to do. Um, when I try to use them more intentionally later. But this is Mirror Blue Art Crayons, and then I have the shimmer, the Mandalama paint, acrylic paint, the shimmer version, the white. Actually, I have a small one here. This is what I used. I love this stuff. I can see myself just getting bottles and bottles just of the white shimmer. So, because I'm trying to get this to be like a kind of glow, so I need to work on this some more. And I'm thinking I'm going to put the shimmer in the middle, but I'm dreading trying to get between these things. So, but this is not really included in my list of whips to work on either, since like I, colored it so long ago. But I am trying to figure things out with this one. This is the one I'm thinking I'm going to work on today, because I want to draw in the lines, and I'm not sure. I might do it in pencil. I'm not sure, but I envision more lines crisscrossing and stuff here. So, and why else did I get this book out? Was there any other reason? Oops, crash. I'm not going to show. Oh, yeah, I did work on the fish page, though. I got to show the fish page. Okay, those are all my pencils. I did work on the fish page. I just said, I've been in that mood, throw caution to the wind. That's the only way I'm going to finish some of these pages. And so I just started working on this one, and I started with this fish on the bottom, and I don't like his color, so I may erase it all out, the background color. But I felt like the one at the bottom to this is going to, because of the direction he's faced and that he's on the bottom, I felt like he needed to be a darker color. But I don't really like that color. So I don't know. But yeah, so this one I used a combination of marker and pencil. So I used the acrylic marker, and then I went over it with pencil. So it's kind of experimenting with how the pencil goes over the acrylic marker, and it doesn't really go over it that well. You kind of gotta, kind of play with it a little bit. But because these spaces are so little, I think you can't really see that some of the surface is kind of bumpy. I don't know. And it just shows the color, and I like how it turned out. But if you can see, it's kind of irregular, the outlines, and kind of bumpy. I'm hoping like with the outlines, I can kind of cover that up by the background that I put on them. Worst case scenario, we can just say, oh, well, we're going for a look that's rustic. That's going to be my outward for Dad's coloring situations. Well, I was aiming for a rustic look. And since I did this color, I really didn't know what to do the other two as, and particularly the next one I was going to color. So I just went in with pencil to do the background. I was like, I can't think about more. And also, this is so tiny. Oh my God, it was so tedious working on these little spaces that I ran out of the ways to combine these colors I've used in here, and I didn't know what to use in the next spot, and I didn't want to put in any new color, so I just went to do this shark. So let's see. Yeah, this is very tiny, and I suppose my tendency would be to use gel pens on this, but then I don't know. I don't know if it's going to adhere well enough, and I don't want my work rubbing off, because that's kind of like a waste of my time, and I don't like that idea. So, and this is the one I used. I actually used the Mandalama paint on this background, and so I was getting used to how it goes down. You can see it's kind of sloppy how it's on there, but that's because I don't know how to do it. So this has I think it has 2 coats of it on here. So I like how it makes the page heavy, though. I really like that. I didn't do anything in this one, but I almost did, but I didn't. So that's going to be a project. So let's see. Oh, last thing I have to show before I start coloring it. Like, have I been? I've probably been on here an hour already. I didn't even like check the time. I can't really see. Oh, there it is. It is on there. 40 minutes. Okay. It's almost. I don't know. What time is it? 3:32. Okay. Um. So this is the one I've been working in the most, and so I showed. I think that I did the wings in here with that shimmer, the Mandolama shimmer paint, shimmer white, which I love. Um, and so now I have a whole lot of work to do in here with the rest. I went in the other day and I did the bees and I did a little pencil work in there, just a little bit, ever so slightly. Maybe not in that one, but in this one. Oops, where is it? I'm trying to get my book there. In this one, I kind of outlined it a little bit with blue, trying to get used to how to make it look the way I want it to look. Um, I didn't really add water. I didn't, because I was just going straight out of the little. Um, Sorry, my mouse keeps bouncing back and forth. I just went directly out of the little thing here, and then I have a little cap of water here. That there's something in there. What's in there? I have a little cap of water here that I kind of put the brush in, the brush tip in to kind of rinse it off. I tried not to get this too wet, so I didn't really add any water, but I did think that, I probably could put some of this paint in a little palette, just put a little bit in there, add water so I have like a looser paint. So that's something I probably will try when I start feeling brave enough to bring out a little palette, but that kind of scares me too, because of how much stuff I always have on my desk. It's like accident. Like even this little cap of water, I think I've dumped it over like 3 times since I've been using the acrylic paints. I think it's a gnat that's in there. The gnat likes acrylic paint water. Interesting. Um, I've dumped this over a couple of times, but I never filled. This is never filled up all the way. I only have it like usually filled up to like here. Like maybe like a half inch of water, so that if it spills, it's not a disaster. Because me and water on my desk is not a good idea. So, um, thank you. Yeah, this is definitely a process, and I'm only going to come back when when I really feel inspired to add something, because I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know that I'm aiming for some kind of look. So whenever I feel inspired, like I feel like some inspiration to work on it, I'll come back to it and do that. But I won't do it unless I feel like doing that. And that's how I wound up adding the shimmer paints. It's like, I feel like I can handle this now. I could try it out and see what happens. So, um, and well, I could put paper in there, but I don't even care about this page. It scares me. Um, This page I love. I think I showed this the other day. I really like how this has turned out. And so I'm kind of pretty much calling this finished, except I still need to do the middle, the pistils and the flowers. And I need to do the legs on the birds. And I probably need to do a little bit of detail around the eyes of the birds, maybe. But, and I don't know, this side, I might need to blend this side a little bit more. I don't know. I may leave that alone. But yeah, this really just kind of just went one night, and I didn't know I was going to do this, and it just happened. So that's one of those things where I feel like just approach it when your brain feels loose enough to just let yourself go and sit in your subconscious, and and let whatever happens happens. That's how this happened. Um, and I showed that one already, and that's how this one happened. Which, like, I kept looking at this and like, I don't know why well, I know why I started with those colors. I was like, do something different, some color combination that you haven't done before, and see what happens. And then so I was looking at it for the longest with this, you know, whatever it is, sea green and turquoise or whatever, and the purple and the orange, and then the gold. And I was like, I don't know what to do with it. And then the other night, it just hit me. It's just like, just go for it. And I started on the butterfly. I think it was. I think it was this one, and then just kept going. And it was so nice to see everybody's comments on that video because I was lost on this one for so long. And so, but I saw potential in it. I like the color combination, but I'm like, I have no idea what to do now because of that. But I'm just sticking to basically to the colors that are already in it and just putting those colors in other places. So, and we'll see how it looks in the end. And I'm gonna, if I didn't already, I'm gonna save this palette to my Coolors account, so that if I want to use it again and I don't remember where to find this picture, I can use the palette again and maybe, I don't know, play with it. So, but yeah, so it's I don't know what color to do this. This seems like a major thing. I don't know what color to make the building, so I'm just kind of doing the butterflies first and doing some shading of the background and things like that first, because I'm not sure what to do with the building. And I tried to do the glass and I hate it, but I'm almost thinking of just cheating and using more of this shimmer paint because I feel like it's almost too much to tackle in this one picture to try and figure out how to color the glass and bring together, bring all these colors together. So I don't know. I don't know if you can hear the lawnmower. My husband's mowing the lawn. It's not a lawnmower, but lawn tractor. So let's see. Let's do some coloring now because I think that's all the lips that I did something in, and some of that might be a repeat. I don't know because I can't remember what I did the last time I was on. I'm doing a lot of work the past few days. So okay, so what's in the way of this that I can't remember? Okay, so let's see. I want to draw lines. I'm kind of afraid to use paint on here. I don't want it to stand out more than this. So I'm almost thinking I need to stick with using pencil. So swollen. Not sharp enough. Okay, so I'm going to put some music on and just start working and see how much I can get done. And I'll try and go maybe to like 4:15-ish. I talked it off a lot. What is minimal house? Let's try that. I started my day with like some old, what we used to call techno music that like was like a real flashback for me. Listened to it for a couple hours. Okay, so there's those two lines. This background's starting to get dirty. Ooh, it's kind of gross. Wonder if I should color these two lines in first and then add lines. Yeah, I can't even hear the music now because of the tractor. Goodness. Okay. This might be too long. I have to move this a little bit. Stuff there in the corner of my desk. Just random lines that I can color in. Okay, I don't think that music's going to do it. I need to hear more than that. Oh, here's my Restream song. I could go further. I don't think I followed that line very well, but so it's like this week, if you're like, if you were in your 20s or whatever in the 80s or 90s, we've lost a lot of people this week. Richard Simmons, Dr. Ruth Westheimer, Dr. Ruth. Bob Newhart, who I used to love that show with Suzanne Pleshette. I always loved Newhart's dry sense of humor. I think he was one of Mel Brooks, one of the people that was always in Mel Brooks movies. He's still going strong, I think. Mel Brooks. But Dr. Ruth, Bob Newhart, Richard Simmons. Somebody else. Oh, and then Shannon Doherty. She's been battling cancer for a long time, living with cancer for a long time. And what's his name? He died before her, which was kind of weird. What's his name? Luke? What's his name? He was playing the dad in, oh my gosh, that show that I had started watching. What was it? I can't remember the show. He played the dad in that show. But there was somebody else. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Oops. Well, we went way off the line there. We'll cover it up. We'll cover it up with color. Let's do straight anyway. Do we want it to be straight? Maybe we'll just erase that line altogether. There we go. I'm still kind of, personally, I'm still kind of thrown by what's his name, Michael Michael K from who played Omar in Oz. I always forget his last name. I get his last name wrong. Michael K. White or Smith or I don't know. I miss him. I miss. It's weird. I wake up every day and I'm like, oh, not every day, but I wake up a lot of times and think, oh, he's not here anymore. I thought he was just. I thought he was an awesome actor. If I knew he was in something, it's like, okay, I'm watching it. And he did some. He was the MC for some shows on Vice as well, and I thought he did a great job with that. Like talking about, I think it was called Black Market or something like that. He just was such an intelligent person and just very like charisma. It's like, damn, I wish I'd met you like a long time ago because I would have married you if you'd asked me. Yeah, I had a crush on him too. But he just was somebody that I always like. If I were to meet anybody and just sit down and talk, I would like to do that with him. He was just very, I don't know, very striking, thoughtful. He seemed very thoughtful and kind. Him and I feel like the world went to poo poo after David Bowie died. That was like that's the other person I really miss. I was like, oh, we're not going to get any more, um, persona changes from David Bowie. That was like, I grew up with him and his persona changes. He was doing folk music at the very beginning when I was a little kid, and then he went into the Ziggy Stardust, the glam, the whole glam rock thing. Then he went into the funk thing, working with Nile Rodgers and that big suit, that big white suit. And he had other configurations after that, and it was like, and it was always, I don't know, it was never cheesy with him. Any of the changes he made, even though I don't know if it was necessarily him going. He didn't really go with fashion. He just like he was very attentive to musicians and how they worked and thought about how I don't know. There's something about him because he actually worked with Brian Eno. They were coworkers, contemporaries in the same groups together, and all that kind of stuff. And Eno was kind of like that too. He's very musically in tune to I don't even know what you call it to something. There's something very philosophical about the way that Bowie and approach music, and yeah, and I miss him. I miss him. I miss him as if I knew him. It's weird. So Bowie, Michael K, and his last name is White. Michael White. I don't know. I forget. I don't know why I forget, and I love him so much. Um, and then Anthony Bourdain, which I feel like there was some kind of dark story underneath there with how he left, the reasons, the choices for his leaving, who his girlfriend was at the time, and things like that, and how much he was fighting for the causes she was fighting for. I feel like there was something else that was there that he like couldn't live with. Um, I feel like I feel like a lot of people would have forgiven him. he did something. But I felt like he couldn't forgive himself because he had that kind of a heart where he was very honest. Or he'd gotten to a point of being very honest with himself. I don't know. But I really miss those people a lot. But I don't know how well they would have stood up to the past 6 years of this country. Or what, 6, is it 6 years? 6, whatever, however it is, yeah. I don't know how well they would have stood up to everything that's happened because of how they are as people. Well, Bowie, I think he would have like done some ass kicking, to be honest. But the rest, I don't know if they could have taken it. I think their hearts were too tender. Bowie was tough, very tough. Okay, let's see. So I got my lines, so now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with them. Am I gonna do it while I pencil? I get more control with pencil. So do the center first and then the outside, or do the. You know what? I could do the outside with like acrylic pen. Maybe use the cooler ones and let that be shiny, but do the inside maybe with pencil. And that means I need the Faber Castell. Stuff. We can actually. Well, I don't think I'll finish it in this live. I was gonna say maybe we can finish a whip, but I don't know if I can do all that. Colors, colors, colors. Just gotta go in and use one. And I think I'm gonna start with yellow. Let's see the best way to do this. Actually, put these away at the same time. It sounds like a plan. Oh, I'm gonna use the orange. And I think I'm gonna use the orange back here. Oops, you probably need to see it, huh? No, I forgot to show. Actually, I forgot to show something. Yeah, it did, but that's okay. I figured something out in the mythographic aviary page with the two birds that are like kind of in a circle with each other. One is fire and the other is ice. I think that's what that is. What's going on with them? And so I decided I actually put some more red. I put red actually in the top bird's color of their feathers. So I finally figured that out. And I used some of the Mandolama Shimmer white on the bottom bird on what seems to be icicles. So the page still looks wonky, but I'm finding my way with it. It's almost like some pages, I don't know. It's like having to figure out how to approach certain artists' coloring pages, certain illustrators' coloring pages is like the first thing. And because I had that issue with Kirby, like how to approach his pages, I was struggling with that for the longest time. I was afraid of them for the longest time. And then I was struggling with them when I started coloring them. And then I hit this moment where it was like, and started getting closer and closer to a place where, I could tackle it like this, or I could do this. And then suddenly it was like, bang, I think I got it. So the aviary book, and probably the mythographic books as a whole, I'm not there yet. Not there yet. Doing things in them and kind of figuring, still in the process of trying things out, basically. I have not arrived at a point where I feel like I know what I'm doing. But I do like the problem solving aspect of that. And so I'm not in a hurry with them. It's just like I mentioned with these other pages. I come back when I feel inspired or feel like I can actually approach it and not judge myself by anything I do. Just do it. But I like having simple coloring pages around to do in between those. Oops, I still have, that's the old phone. I still have the sound up on. Because they give you a break between those really hard pages. And I'm almost thinking I need a page of like simple mandalas, or I could actually try drawing some simple mandalas to color. You see how I always make more work for myself? I don't know why I do that. Oh, I forgot. I was going to show the two new books I got. One of them is like, oh, now I see why it was. It was actually, a Prime deal, and like now I see why too. Like, well, I won't be buying any more of those. It is good paper, but let's see. See how they get you. And now I need another box for my coloring books. Well, not just for those two, but between the ones I got from Ollie's and these, I gotta do a third box of books. But I only got 3. So, and I really can't get any more books. I should not get any more. And yeah, but then I bought some other kind of books. Oops. One that Dee Dee Willingham had talked about on illustrations, an encyclopedia of illustrations. And then I bought another book by that same individual that has illustrations of motifs, kind of like these kind of things or whatever, that you can use to draw. You draw, the design that they show, you can draw it in your own coloring pages. So, well, that's what I'm going to use it for. People use it for other things, if you're a graphic designer or a graphic illustrator or whatever, use it for that kind of thing. But that's what I intend to use it for. Hmm. I don't know why I want to make this orange, but I do. So I'm gonna at least part of it. I don't know why today feels like Thursday to me. It's Friday. And let's see what else. Um, just notice I have a book on my shelf, way up on top, the books that I haven't touched in like probably 2 decades. Um, that says it's titled "Dramatic Light." Dramatic. I guess that's spelled. Um, I need to get that book down, and I know I'm pretty sure I bought it when I had the professor who asked me about something that I was painting, and he asked, "Where is the light coming from?" And I'm like, "Oh brother." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Just like it's like, no, don't ask me that. I don't know. I just put colors in there. I don't know where the light's coming from. No, I didn't say that to him though. I was thinking that he was too nice for me to like, be, you know, to get homegirl on. He taught me too much about more than painting. He taught me things about literature that it's like, whoa, dude, great guy, great. He also helped me carry out 2 large pieces of foam out of Joanne Fabrics when we had one here. I happened to be there, and he was picking up stuff like to construct still lifes and things like that for classes. And I was buying 2 large pieces of foam that I was gonna make. Oh no, it was one big piece that I was gonna make cut up and make cushions out of. And I had to get it out the door. I mean, it was really long. Like I don't even know how many feet long it was. It was huge. I don't know what I was thinking that walking out of the house with it, but he happened to be there and um, so he helped me get it outside and into my car. I did some insane things when I first got here. It's like digging up rocks up the ground like a maniac because I had to have a garden. It's like the land is calling me. It's calling me. It was calling me. It really was. And I'm just doing. Like I said, I'm not even thinking I'm not making a plan. I'm just doing. I don't know. Just doing. And I'm gonna make that grass green just because it's grass. It's obviously it's grass. Five. So making my cutoff time 5:30. I mean, not 5:30, 4:30. I'm not sure I'm gonna be on here tomorrow, or I'm not sure. So, oh, there's some more greens. I did my nails this afternoon, and I messed one up. Oh, look, there's a piece of hair on it. It's like I don't know. I can't seem to. I don't know. I can't always keep my painted nails looking right. And sometimes, like, I'll mess them up, like, right after, or even during, like, painting them. Like, if I paint one hand and I'm working on the other one, I'll mess up something on the hand I've already painted. But I decided I wanted to, I don't know. I just was sitting here and I said, let's paint the nails. But then I'm also doing laundry today. So it's like, that doesn't make sense. And it's humid. So That's another reason why I'm coloring it. It's like, well, I can't fold the laundry yet because I'm not sure if I take it out in the dryer if it's going to mess up my nails or not because it's humid. So that was kind of stupid. I don't know why I did that, but whatever. I was tired of looking at naked nails, I guess. I got all this nail polish here. I'm not using it. It's kind of stupid. Oh, let's put this back in the case. Let's put all of them back in the case today after I use them. But my these colors. I want to get the orange though. Is there one of those in there? Anyways. Put purple underneath the flags. Under which one? Under these. Trying to go with opposite tones underneath the objects. So whatever's kind of opposite it on the color wheel, put that near the object. That's kind of the method for my madness I'm using, and then we'll see if that works. I'm gonna try and go to bed early today. It's cooler today, so kind of want to do more laundry. If I do that, I'll be up later, but it's also supposed to be cooler tomorrow, so I could get up early, at least in the morning, so I can get up early tomorrow, start doing laundry, and be done before it really starts to get warm. And go out and play. I still wanna sketch or draw, but it's just not happening yet. Too many irons in the fire right now. Backgrounds is another thing I've been trying to work on. So backgrounds, acrylics, markers or paint. Markers and paint, actually. I don't want to go the whole way over. That's not quite right. This is why we use rulers. Right? I love doing the shading thing. I don't know if anybody's been looking at it and saying, "Oh, brother, is she doing that again?" I I don't know. That's just started coming out of me, and I don't know if I'm like kind of channeling somebody that I've been watching or what, but I can't stop doing it. It just feels good, and so I keep doing it. And I like how it looks after. Something about it. Oop, there's more grass. More grass. Figure out how we blend that grass in with this at some point. How there's grass and also some kind of geometric thing happening on the ground. Who knows? We don't know, but this is fantasy, so who's count? Be a little too dark. Too close to that color. Too late now. Hmm. I feel like that has to be green. It's kind of weird, but I'm sharpen that. You can eat some. Oh, let's angle that way. Sorry. I have a habit of slapping my pencils down. I don't know why I do that. Oh, that was a tail I was trying to pick up. I wanted this one. Come on. This one's quite pale. Yeah, I was looking on Blick.com again. I'm always there. Just kind of looking and thinking. And I saw I had forgotten about um the is it Derwent Lightfast pencils. So not the color soft, but the light fast ones, and they're more expensive even than the color soft. But they're the ones that are more oily, like the um, Chromaflows. Oh my god, they're like $5 a pencil. So that's probably why I forgot about them. Like, yeah, we ain't going there. But yeah, I forgot about those. But they have the same. They have the same colors, I believe, um, as the color soft. So still, like, it wouldn't be like getting a pencil for pencil replacement between the ChromaFlows and the Lightfast. It's more like the intent seems to be to use the color fast in combination, or light fast in combination with the color soft, because it kind of looks like they have a color to color correlation or parallel or whatever you call it. But I ain't got no light fast limit, so I don't foresee that in the future. But you never know. It depends. I need to use the pencils I have, get better with them. On that, we call it the, I can't remember the real name, but the opposite, or what's it called? I guess complementary color? Is that what it is, or the other one? Anyway, kind of throwing that out the window at this point. So it seems. Well, I'll put green behind it. Don't want red next to that. We need to do yellow. It's kind of looking that way. So I start changing the shape. I could do that. Or purple. It's purple. Color in dark. Writing companies. So this is, yeah, this is my first week with rubber bands. I have a whole weekend. I don't know how successful it's been, but trying to remember to put them back in after I eat. It's kind of hard. But I think I'm getting better at it. So for better or worse, I don't know what this is going to be. I have started the background for this. It is what it is. We're turning back. I'm going through the down network. Oh. Where am I? I don't like this triangle. I need to sharpen it. That's what I really do. Look at this. Try to. Okay, let's sharpen this. Going over that line. This is the sharpener I'm using, and I'm really kind of liking this sharpener. For I think I've used it for the chroma flows, and I'm using it now for the Faber Castell. Excuse me. Ugh. And I think I've been using this for Prismacolors also, with minimal problems. So, to Maiba, and I got it from jetpens.com. I cannot go over the line. That would be helpful. Oh, hour and 37 minutes. Okay, so it's almost 4:30. So I'm gonna stop here. And I'm gonna show the 2 books that I got this week. Even though I'm not supposed to be getting any more books. I shouldn't, after this, I really shouldn't. I need to box them up and, say enough. This happens to be a Color It book, which, I'm in it for the paper. I do like the hardcover things, though. There was no special sale on this. Yeah, it was just bad. But I bought it because of the patterns. That's why I bought it. Not only to color them, but to kind of get into drawing them myself. And so, excuse me, I'm not allowed to color in this yet, but these are some of the patterns. This is my latest obsession, rather than lilac pencils, lilac or lavender pencils, patterns, and thinking of how to draw them, and of course here to color them. So basically that's all this is, a book of patterns. Not really anything special about it, it's just a book of patterns. Not going to do a flip through, but this is the book, and I checked to see if this woman had any other books, or man, and I didn't find any. Then this is the other one, which so deceiving. I was really kind of upset, but just I learned my lesson. Again, mushrooms, that's what drew me to it. And the little houses, which I love, these little fantasy houses. Actually similar to the other book I have, and I may find as I go in here that might be some of them are the same. This does seem to be a little more together than that Fantasy Cottages book, and that there's no random things sticking out of, things or whatever. But they appear to be AI generated images, but they're cleaned up. And they are on good paper. So that was what drew me. I saw that in the description. I was like, oh, and this is only $8 or something like that. So I was like, okay. But yeah, I'm not that pleased with this purchase, but I can live with it. So that's that. Not much to show. There's how many pages in here? I do like that it has the spiral top. That is nice, but it is what it is. And it's not create space paper. For some reason, in the middle, it has this in there. I'm not sure why, but maybe so you're not always feeling, I don't know, so you don't get how something gets ragged as you get towards the end. The back page gets kind of ragged, maybe to avoid that. But it has this message in the middle. You've reached the midpoint of your coloring journey. Please turn another page and start the other half of the coloring journey. So then from there, they're on the opposite side. You gotta flip this over like this. I can't really show that underneath the camera, but you have to flip it over to then start coloring this way. Whatever. But they are on one page, so you can use alcohol markers if you want. So yeah, I don't know whether it's worth it or not, because they don't really have all that background either. See, this almost looks like the same houses as in one of the other books. But I love coloring these houses, so that's not too big of a deal. And they're slightly grayscale, not as dark as perhaps as the other one was. Like they listened to somebody's complaint about it or something, and improved the paper and improved, the image by not having those weird things that are unattached. So that's it for me. I'm gonna go about the rest of my evening. I hope you enjoyed this live and um, have a good night. And I said that already, didn't I? I feel sleepy. Like I want to go to bed, but it's too early for that. Anyway, take care. Bye bye.